Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. I'm so excited about this next interview. We have with us in studio none other than Christopher Nathan, a director of Miss Tobago Beauty Pageant and creative director of Cocoa Velvet International, and Renessa Ortiz, Miss Tourism World Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to both of you and welcome.
Good morning, and thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure to have both of you on the show, and may I say welcome back to the show as well. Renessa, let's start with you this morning. Firstly, congratulations on an incredible win. Can you share with us what your journey was like to becoming Miss Tourism World Trinidad and Tobago?
My journey actually started in October of 2023, where I was recruited by Mr. Nathan for the Miss Tobago pageant, and then went on to Miss World Trinidad and Tobago. And now that opportunity and that exposure gave me the chance to be here now as Miss World Tourism, and I believe that came out of my introduction at Miss World Trinidad and Tobago, where I ensured to show cultural aspects of Tobago in my introduction.
And what has the journey been like for you thus far?
It has been similar to those I have had before in terms of understanding the world of pageantry, the work that goes in, the commitment and dedication, and it's just transformative. I believe beauty pageants play that role in a young woman's life. It's transformative.
And this is true. It definitely is transformative. And speaking with the term transformative, Christopher, again, it's a pleasure to have you. You definitely have an incredible eye and a talent when it comes to being able to see beauty, brains, and everything else in between and bring it together. But what do you look for in contestants such as Renessa and so many other beautiful women?
Well, my experience really has been with international models over the years, because Cocoa Velvet started in 1997, and since then we have been discovering and developing young men and women in Trinidad and Tobago who have potential to work in the fashion capitals. So the same things I look for in international models, I see in the beauty pageants, because it's all about posture and poise, the ability to communicate effectively, deportment, how to carry themselves, etc. So when I decided to do this Miss Tobago beauty pageant, it was really an add-on to the Tobago Youth Creative Arts Workshop graduation show. I wanted to provide opportunities for the young people who were graduating from the workshop. And that's when I approached the Miss World Trinidad and Tobago organization for them to endorse us having a representative at Miss World Trinidad and Tobago. And that's how Renessa ended up in the contest.
Absolutely beautiful. Now, Renessa, what does representing Trinidad and Tobago on an international stage mean to you?
Representing Trinidad and Tobago on an international stage provides that platform for Trinidad and Tobago to be seen, for persons around the world to understand our culture, to get to understand what the people are like, what our systems are like, and to come here, and that would help to generate revenue for our island. And I believe that's what tourism is about.
I agree with you there, 100%. Beautifully said. Now, as tourism was mentioned, Christopher, how do you see the role of beauty pageants contributing to promoting tourism particularly?
Yes, well, this is a huge industry internationally, beauty and fashion tourism. And fashionistas and beauty pageant enthusiasts travel from all over the world to attend beauty pageants, fashion shows, etc. So what we are trying to do, since we relocated Cocoa Velvet's headquarters to Scarborough, is to encourage the Tobago Division of Tourism to develop event and festivals and fashion tourism in Tobago, because we see the island as an ideal location for tourists to come, just as they go for the jazz festival, come instead for fashion and beauty tourism in Tobago.
You know, as you were saying that, one thing really also just struck out to me, which was the fact that, of course, Tobago is beautiful. It's an absolute gem. And when you think about editorials in magazines and all of these shoots, this is a perfect place for it to happen as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the screen, we're seeing some photos of Tobago's Pigeon Point, which is iconic all over the world. And that's where we plan to, and those pictures were taken by David Ayers, so credit to the photographer for doing us that favor. So what we want to do is to package the various sites in Tobago and do the video for the Miss Tourism World contest, so that persons watching the event live will be able to see what's available in terms of the tourism offering in Tobago. And that way we're going to attract a whole new set of tourists coming to Tobago from Asia, because the contest is in Beijing, and there'll be a lot of persons attending the contest from Asia, as well as it being streamed and broadcast live in Asia. So we're looking at attracting a whole new clientele to Tobago for our tourism offerings.
Absolutely. Excellent. This is so exciting. Renessa, let's bring you back into the conversation. Between personal life, your career, and now being a beauty queen and travel, which we would have just heard, of course, from Christopher, how do you find the time to balance everything?
Community is a pivotal part in all of this. Your mom, grandparents, also my work staff, co-workers, my head of departments, they have all been crucial and a huge part of all of the success. Their understanding and dedication and commitment and understanding what I am currently embarking upon has really helped throughout this entire journey.
Absolutely excellent. It's beautiful to see that regardless of how far we may go, where we may go to, what we may achieve, that community is always one of the main foundations that we need. What would you say is one of the impacts you aim to make during your reign?
My impact would focus on Tobago's tourism development. As part of the Miss Tobago Beauty Pageant, my initiative was arts tourism. I understand and I experience where we have a lot of creative talent in Tobago, and I believe that that needs to be expanded a lot more, that needs to be showcased to the wider world a lot more for Tobago to really get that tourism market up and running. And I think we need to diversify that a bit more as well for us to be able to truly harness the power that we have there in Tobago.
Well
I'd like
said.
to add to that.
Of course.
Because I've been in Tobago for the past 6 years since I retired, and I have found that there's tremendous creative energy in Tobago, particularly with the young people. What they've been lacking is exposure and opportunities. And for that reason, we are doing this workshop. So that next year, we're going to be pivoting the workshop a bit to include tourism. So it's going to be the Tobago Youth Tourism and Creative Arts Workshop, where we are going to train young people who are interested in jobs in the tourism industry, those who want to become flight attendants, those who want to work in hotels, in restaurants, and hospitality. What I have found in Tobago, they may not be happy to hear me say this in Tobago, but it's the truth. There's a problem with productivity. There's a problem with the work ethic all over Tobago, and customer service is lacking. And I think that what we need to do is to start with the younger generation to encourage them to focus more on excellence in service wherever they're working. So that when you go to a government agency, for example, or to a restaurant or to a bar, you get good service. Because I think that Tobago, it has the potential to be the best little island in the world. But what we are lacking is service standards of international benchmark, because when you compare that with Barbados and St. Vincent and St. Lucia and the other islands, they focus a lot on tourism excellence and service. So that is where Cocoa Velvet is focusing on next year.
And that's beautiful, and it's critical, and it needed to be said as well. And I dare say it's something that trickles down even to us right here in Trinidad.
Indeed.
It's something that we do need to work on. Now, we've just said a little bit about the future with Cocoa Velvet. Tell us what's the future with you, Renessa.
Right now, I'm not sure what the future holds, because if you had asked me a year ago if I would be in this position, I would say no. So right now, I'm just embracing all of the opportunities that come my way and utilizing them to the best of my ability so I can make the impactful change that I need to.
Beautiful. And any closing comments for Trinidad and Tobago?
Have a wonderful day and have a great weekend ahead.
Well, that means you're definitely going to have a great weekend. And Christopher, any closing comments?
Yes, I'm sure young people in Tobago who might be interested in the workshop want to know how to get in. So parents as well in Tobago, you can send us an email at cocovelvetinternational@gmail.com with the information on your young one, or contact us through our WhatsApp at 620-2316.
Absolutely beautiful. Well, Christopher and Renessa, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Really excited to see what more is going to be taking place with Cocoa Velvet in the tourism industry and just the industry on the whole. And Renessa, of course, can't wait to see you in Beijing.
Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure. Have an excellent day, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Same to you.
You don't want to miss what's coming up on the Now Morning Show. Stay tuned. There's a lot more on this excellent Friday edition.